meeting of the New Philadelphia Board of Education. I'm going to start by reading our mission statement. New Philadelphia City Schools will provide all students the opportunity to achieve their highest potential to become educated, self-sufficient, and responsible citizens. We are committed to providing every student a diverse, quality education within a safe and secure environment through a dedicated, innovative, and highly qualified staff in partnership with parents and the community at large. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we call the roll, I would just like to officially welcome Dr. Carol Sutton. First regular meeting as our superintendent. We are so honored and glad to have you aboard.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ricklick?
Present.
Mrs. Schrock?
Here.
Ms. Fontana?
Here.
Dr. Bachman?
Here.
Mr. Petrullo?
Here.
That's a quorum.
Item
I
2.
stuttered.
I need a recommendation to approve the agenda of the regular Board of Education meeting. So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, call the roll, please.
Ms. Fontana?
Yes.
Mr. Petrullo?
Yes.
Mr. Ricklick?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrock?
Yes.
Dr. Bachman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, I need to approve the minutes of the work session dated July 13th, 2026, the regular meeting dated July 13th, 2026, and the special meeting dated July 21st, 2026. I'll second. Okay. Call the roll, please.
Dr. Bachman?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrock?
Yes.
Mr. Ricklick?
Yes.
Ms. Fontana?
Yes.
Mr. Petrullo?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. We do not have any recognition tonight, nor do we have any public participation. So we will move on to the treasurer's report.
Okay, we're going to do the 5-year forecast.
All right. Buckle up.
John Roberts.
Well,
If anyone would like to move out there to see better.
So much stuff. So I will tell you, I updated the same property tax reform slideshow I did last time. And the reason I did that was twofold. Mr. Petrullo was not here for the last property tax update. And there's a couple changes, and so I wanted to make sure to go back over this so everybody remembered and understood everything. So I can get it. There we go. So property tax calculation. First of all, the market value that is on the county's website is where we begin to calculate. So for $100,000 home, it's 35% of the market value, which gives us $35,000 for the assessed value. 1 mil is equal to $1 per $1,000 of assessed value. And we have two types of millage. We have inside, which is unloaded. The state gives us so much mills, and they spread it out for everybody in each taxing entity. And then we have outside mills, and the outside mills are what are voted. So for a tax calculation on a $35,000 assessed value, keep in mind that's $100,000 market value. You multiply it by 1 mil, divided it by 1,000. So 1 mil on a $100,000 home is always $35. This doesn't work. And just to, as review, this is not New Philly's data, but it's really important that everybody understands how to calculate or what the effect of the House Bill 920 and the 20 mil floor is. Keep in mind, I'm going to say it one more time. This is not New Philly's data, and it does exclude new construction and new levies. So what happens when we have a voted millage is They take it by our residential agricultural value in total for the county. And then as that res ag value increases, either the effective rate changes or the dollar amount changes. So for example, if we start our example with $10 million and the following year we go to $11 million, instead of collecting more money on that value, our effective rate changes and it decreases. This continues to happen until we hit 20 mils. Once we hit 20 mils, now we start seeing growth on our revenue. And again, we have in my example, and this is not real data, but in this example, it shows how the 20 mil floor works. And it also shows that once our effective rate quits moving and decreasing and stops at 20 mils, we begin to show growth in dollars. That's going to be really important when we get into the new house bills. Anybody have any questions?
When we get into the what? Pardon me?
New house bills,
Okay.
because that's the whole purpose of this slideshow, is to talk about how the new house bills affect New Philly. Sorry. So where is New Philly? And again, this was tax year 2025. We were at the 20 mil floor, meaning we were seeing revenue growth as the residential and agricultural values increased in total. We had our 2025 triennial update, and in that update, home values increased by 24%. We have 2 emergency levies, and now they're called fixed sum. They changed the name of them. One of them expires in December of 2027. The other one expires in December of 2034. We were able to put that on for this November. The board made the decision not to put it on this November. So we'll have 2 more tries to pass the 2012 fixed sum levy. And that would be in May and November of next year. And it would start collecting January 1st. We would start collecting it January 1st of 2028. It's a really important levy for us. I did make a note that our 2014 fixed sum levy is the last time we passed new operating money. And if you were around, that levy passed by like 4 votes. 4. So what this demonstrates is we haven't asked for new money. It demonstrates fiscal responsibility. We've been able to survive without new money. At this time though, we did not have people in the State House trying to reduce the money that schools receive. So, property tax reform, House Bill 129, which took effect March 13th, 2026, changes how the 20 mil floor are calculated. If you remember, what I said was the effective rate kept dropping until we reached 20 mils, and then we started getting growth on our money. Now, they've taken all of our fixed sum levies and included them in the floor. And so what happens is our dollars are going to freeze until we move back down and the effective rate decreases and we hit 20 mils again. That's a huge change for us, because what it does is those 2 emergency levies now are basically being, like, our current levies are not generating any new revenue, even though our values, our assessed values are increasing. Again, this is an example. This isn't New Philly's data, but I wanted you to have a good idea of what the change was with House Bill 129.
So Joy, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So even though people's assessed values went up, so their taxes went up, it doesn't mean that the schools are getting more money from those increases.
Not from House Bill 129.
Correct.
Right. There are going to be other places where things are going to be wacky. That's a technique from.
Yeah, it just made it.
But here, House Bill 129, people are not going to get additional dollars. Yeah. So that was House Bill 129. The next House Bill was 335. So what they did here, and this is going to be, there's two GDP deflator House bills. They're critical to understand because they actually make phantom revenue. So we're not going to get growth, but they're using those money for our calculation. That's what I mean by phantom revenue, and you need to keep that in mind as I talk. So House Bill 335 is inside mills. Remember I said we had inside millage and outside millage. Inside mills is unvoted and it's given to us by the state of Ohio. In New Philly City Schools, we have 4 inside mills. Not every school district has that. Every school's inside mills can be different. For example, and it's all based on the taxing districts you said inside, but for example, I believe Dover's inside mills was 4.4. So it could be different. But what House Bill 335 does is it says, okay, let's put an inflation factor on the increase in your assessed values. So remember I said in 2025, we had a 24% increase in assessed values. House Bill 335 only lets us get 9% of the increase. So the difference between 9% and 24% is what I'm talking about being phantom revenue. So it significantly decreases what we're going to collect, but it also affects our state share foundation money. So right now, somebody could go to the ballot, vote on something, and the voters' choice at the ballot may not fund schools, and people aren't going to realize that. Actually, doesn't seem quite fair. The next House bill, sorry, I will carry away with my little thing. Jeez, I jumped. Next House bill is House Bill 309. And our county officials have the ability to look at what we have in cash value and what we're going to collect in taxes. And they have the ability to say, you don't need that much money. We can thankfully say to Tuscarawas County, that's not going to happen. But it is happening around the state. Medina's doing it at Medina, and that school district is pretty much turning upside down because of it. So House Bill 186 is tax credits. It's the same GDP deflator that is on inside millage, except it affects all of our voted mills, outside mills. So remember we got the home values increased by 24%. That's capped at 9%. So your tax on your homes will only increase by 9% because of that. They also included in House Bill 186 credits, retroactive credits that go back to 2024 or can go as far as 2023. And they actually will give taxpayers credit for taxes they've already paid. This is all based on what triennial update you're in. And in Tuscarawas County, we were in the 2025 triennial update. So the tax credit is $745,000 for Tuscarawas County, for New Philly City Schools. The calculation I had in the February was an estimate, and that was $807,000. So my calculation was off by about 60 grand. The problem with these credits are the credit begins for your 2025 tax year, but because they didn't have time to do all the calculations, our taxpayers are going to see the first and second credit in January of 2027. So just to kind of tell you what that means for, let's take an 80-year-old person who's living on a fixed income. Let's say they get a credit for their 2025 taxes of $400 in 25 and 26. In January of 27, they're going to see on their tax bill an $800 credit. And then in July of 27, they're going to get half that because your taxes are collected half. So they'll see 200. And then January again, they'll see another 200. And then it's going to bounce right back up. So in my example of an 80-year-old lady who's living on her own Social Security, she's going to get a credit in January and think she just hit the lottery because $800 is a lot of money. And then the next bill is going to come and it's going to have increased by $600. And the next bill that's going to come is going to have increased by the next 200. And then the following tax collection, it's going right back to normal. So what that's going to happen, what's going to happen to school districts is people are going to say, you just increased my taxes without this. That's really not what happened. It's this House Bill 186. So I want to show the impact on, this, I have to say, is an estimated impact because when I go out this far, I have to estimate information. But this is my estimated impact on New Philly City Schools. We are going to stay on the 20 mil floor through 2027, which if you remember, or you probably don't, but in February, I thought we would get off the 20 mil floor in 27. That's going to go out one more year. Then our fixed sum mills are going to go into the floor calculation. So our brand new effective rate is going to go from 20 mils to 27.97 mils. So now remember, we're up off the floor and we have to work back down to 20 now before we see growth. And then in 2028, House Bill 335 and House Bill 186 is going to kick in, which are the GDP deflators. And they're going to reduce our inside and outside mills based on what we believe is the inflation rate. And the inflation rate changes every year. So by 2029, our collection rate at our original floor calculation is going to be down to 18.36, and our new effective rate is going to be 25.63.
What inflation rate did you use for this?
9% is the inflation rate in 2026. That is actual. The estimated inflation rate in 2027 is 11. 2028, the estimated is 13. In 2029, I held it steady because I don't know what it is.
Seems high, but. And when?
That came from a forecasting group I use.
Okay.
I don't know that I could have gotten any better information. So it's as close as I can come. And again, remember, it's a forecast that can change.
Yes, understood.
Other questions? Nope. Okay. So this is the slide I showed you in February. This is February compared to October. We were at a minus $6.3 million in revenue. This is the comparison from February to the August forecast. And if you remember, the last one, because it's a 5-year forecast, let me go back one. That's 2030, the 6.3 million. My estimates are still right there. I'm $100,000 off on my estimates. So I think I'm really, really close to what we're going to land at. Again, it's estimates, I realize that, but this is a big deal in this district. I can't tell you of all the forecasts I've done over the last 16 years, this is the forecast that gives me angst. So, revenue surplus or deficit and days cash on hand. We begin struggling in 2028. We will have a revenue surplus or deficit at $1.6 million, which will leave us with a cash balance about $2 million for the year. And then you can see our days cash on hand by 2029. And that's because of that calculation where it goes to 1.1 million negative. Our days cash on hand is minus 11 days. So minus 11 days, to put that in perspective, every 14 days we pay payroll and it's $985,000. If we go to days cash on hand and we're at minus 11 days, we can't make payroll. So this was February of 26 to October 25 with the forecast without property tax reform. We were going to lose revenue. The property tax reform costs $2.2 million of it. Again, my projections are within $100,000 of this. I left this in here because you saw this already once, but I think it's a good picture to keep in your mind of how property tax reform is changing this district. $2.2 billion is huge by 2030. Yeah, I can't get it to go. There you go. So remember I talked about phantom revenue. So House Bill 186 caps revenue growth to the GDP deflator, and I told you the current GDP inflation rate is 9%. Base costs for state payments are frozen at 2022 values. So let me explain a little further. We have local revenue, which is what we collect from our taxpayers. And we have state revenue, and that's what's called state share. The governor froze those at 2022 values. As a result, and our state and local property taxes have an inverse relationship. So as we get 80 in 2027, we get $8,121. $8,000 per pupil. That's our allocation. The expectation is that that's shared between state and tax revenue, which makes our state revenue $3,103 and the rest of it is tax. So you see here that as our per pupil base costs increase, and these are the state's numbers, our state share per pupil declines. And that's all direct effect of the GDP deflator. What that really and truly means in layman's terms is as our tax revenue or local revenue decreases, our state revenue is decreasing. So we are taking a 25% decrease over the next five years. The unrestricted grants and aids, that's our state revenue line. 13,477,380 was actual for 2026, and based on the calculations, our declining rural enrollment and everything that happened with House Bill 186, we're going to be down to 10 million in 2031. So what that really means is we're probably going to hit the guarantee. So now you want to know what the guarantee is? The guarantee is where your revenue has dropped so low that they have to guarantee that's the amount of money you're going to receive. We have lots and lots of districts on the guarantee. New Philly has never been on the guarantee. New Philly's always been formula funded, and that's because we've always collected enough tax revenue And all of the numbers that we have kept us above board. So what's our hope here? Our hope is that when it comes back to the 2028 governor's budget, the new governor will increase base costs and they will bring them up to today's values. Base costs are always a year behind, so when they go to update that, it would be 2026 values because a biennium budget is every 2 years. We have one governor that's running that is not interested in updating base costs, and we have another one that is. So we all should pay attention to who we're voting for. That little political, I'm sorry.
No, it's true. It's true. And we have to, yeah.
This is my passion, and I'm really struggling with the fact that this district is going to be in the shape. So again, I said, local funding is our property taxes. State funding is our, that's our state foundation payments. That's the amount of money I just showed you on the last slide. As local valuations are increasing, we're not getting all the money from the local valuations because of the inflation cap. But guess what they're doing? They're using the total property tax assessment. They are not using the 9% cap. So there's your phantom revenue. And it's forcing the state share down. The graph shows the district is relying more on local property tax, and the state share is trending towards the guaranteed.
The state is forcing us to go up. You still gotta make the dollar whole. And if the state isn't putting in their share, the only other option is to turn to the community. So you're right, as we said, elections have consequences, and it's very important that we pay attention to.
Yeah, so in 1998, just to give you some perspective, the local share average throughout the state was 47%. And since that time, it's just increased and increased. And over the last few years, the state has decreased the amount of tax that they're taxing people. And as they're doing that, then they're reducing the amount they're paying. So we're gonna have a flat tax for 2026 in the state. That's great. It'll be 2.75% for everybody in the state of Ohio, but that means they have less money. And without money, how are they gonna fund government services? So we have potential renewal in 2012 from our 2012 levy. That's $3 million. State turns those emergency levies into fixed sum. And they also said that 2026, they can be renewed as fixed sum for up to 5 years. But as of, and that started March 19th of 2026. So we have 5 years to do renewals. And when that other emergency levy comes up, it's gonna be new money. And from there on out, we're gonna be requesting new money. We can never renew again unless they change it.
Can I ask you a question on how?
Absolutely.
Questions. So I understand with the 2012 funding, we've got one more shot for renewal and then it's new money. Well, right, but then once we get that, then the next time we have to ask for new money. As the law is written now, does that apply to that other levy that would be in 2034? We can do a renewal again there? No, it's all gone. It's all gone.
Okay, you've got 5 years for renewals. After that period, everything becomes new money.
So that's convenient.
And you only get one shot at a renewal, so the 2012 is gonna be a renewal next year.
And then next time we would have to.
If that failed,
It's done, then there's new.
you have to go back and renew or get new money. Yeah. Remember at the beginning, I said, New money passed by 4 votes. We do not traditionally pass new money. We just don't. So with all of that said, I'm going to go into the 5-year forecast.
Great.
Here we go. And oh, by the way, what else they did was they said the forecast had to be filed now in the current year plus 3 years. So the forecast you're receiving is a 5-year forecast because I truly believe you should see 5 years, and that's up to my discretion to do that. However, when this goes into the state, it's going to stop at 2030. I have suspicions are, and I've heard other people talk about this as well, they don't want people to go out to see what's going to happen in 2031. Because that's where you're taking your big dive. And that's where everybody in the state's taking their big dive. Yep. So in line 1.01, in 2026, we received $16,980 $1,000, 16 million, sorry. 2026, we're gonna receive 16,774,000. And what you see is you see that the beginning of one of the House bills starting to take over. 2028, we go to 15,944,000. 2 reasons for that. The first reason is that big tax credit of $745,000 getting there. The second reason is because when you do a forecast, you have to put your levies down on line 1101 because you don't know if you're going to pass them. So on line 1101 is half of the $3 million levy that we're going to be on the ballot for. When we get to 2029, the entire levy is going to be on line 1101, $3 million. And the 15,226,000 is the other reduction for the tax credits and all of the things that are going to happen. So you see us coming off the floor. This is in raw dollars. You see us coming off the floor. You see the effect of House Bill 186. You see the effect of House Bill 129. It's bad. And then 2030, the reason that comes back up a little bit is because remember I told you House Bill, just lost my bills in my head, I'm sorry. 186 that causes the tax credit is only good until the next triennial update. So we're gonna bounce back a little bit and our people on their tax bills are gonna be billed more. It's going to be bad. And then you see in the unrestricted grants and aids, this is specifically what I cut and put in my presentation. That's the school state funding on line 1.035. And you can see that decreasing, which I already showed you, and it's headed right to the guarantee. Restricted grants and aids are things like we get wellness money, we get transportation money, we get special ed money. Those are restricted for expenditures. And so those are shown on line 1.04. State reimbursements of property taxes. Here's another one. It's decreasing, and the reason it's decreasing is because they changed how rollouts work. So what happened was on our tax revenue, they would give elderly credits, and now they're going to increase some of those credits. And so that's going to decrease as well. So our revenues don't look great. Scroll down, our expenditures. You notice from 2026, we were at $21 million in salaries. And in 2027, we're going to go to $20,954,000. That big decrease is because we absorbed 4 positions, and then we're going to move 1 person into federal funds. Carol already talked about, Dr. Sutton already talked about that this evening. So we have all kinds of changes that are gonna help us with payroll. That's our bright spot. Employees' retirement and insurance benefits, that is, things like Medicare, STRS, things that we have to pay. They go right along with payroll. And then our health insurance increased by 8.1% for 2027. 2028, I have it increasing by 5% because in 2026, we took a 13.2 increase. So my thought is we've come through the bad part where everybody's increases are hitting. We've had some things happen in the district, sadly enough, for our employees. And now I think we're gonna level off. So I'm planning 5% increase in 2028. It's too early to actually get any numbers. And I've talked about some things we can do with health insurance that may help us. The rest of the forecast is pretty standard. It runs flat for all of the sections. Capital outlay, you'll notice it's 227,000 in 2027. We buy one bus every year out of the general fund, and these are all general fund numbers, by the way. The other bus, we always buy two buses. The other bus is taken out of our PI money. And so there's one bus in capital outlay, and then there's 70,000 for tech items like our new line boards and things like that. And I always like to plan a little extra for things that could go wrong. Other objects, those are things we have to pay, like when we go to the county and we have something on the ballot, we get charged for that, although that's not all that is. We pay audit fees. Those are all the miscellaneous, non-instructional fees that go into just running a business. And then if you go down and look, bring your attention to line 6.01. Sorry, line 7.02. You'll notice our cash balance, the projection is 3,653,000. 2028, the projection is 500,000. 2029 is a negative $5,573,000. The problem with 2029 is I have to be able to certify appropriations in 3 years, and I can't do it. And there's no getting out of it. I can't do it. So what I did was I met with some professionals and said, what do I do with this forecast? I can't certify it. And he said, I'll tell you what, this forecast looks so much better than everybody else in the state. Send it in. They can't put everybody in fiscal watch. So I'm submitting it. Just so you know, there's a good chance that somebody will come back and say we're in fiscal watch. And then we have to follow some stricter rules than we followed in the past. And then line 11.02 is that fixed sum levy that we have on the ballot that we're going to try to get passed next year. All of that to say, at the end of 5 years, 2031, we will, if everything comes through here, have an $11,151,000 deficit. We do have some ideas. Carol and I have sat down and talked. We have ideas to get past this. And that's the thing that we want to talk about going forward. As of today, this is the forecast I need to file. I have to have it filed at the state by August 15th. And the rest of the pages, she's scrolling down through, those are notes. And there are lots and lots of notes on there. Help yourself read them all. The software does some of it, and then I tailor some of my information into this that I find to be very important for you as a board to know. So that's the 5-year forecast. What questions do you have?
I just think it's important for people to know that that forecast is not because of fiscal irresponsibility. That forecast is because the state has consistently decided to defund public education and public schools. 100%. Anything else?
There's all kinds of pages in here, there's all kinds of additional information, charts and graphs and things like that. I'm happy to sit down with anybody that wants to sit down and go over all of them. It's really good information. Does anyone have any questions for Mrs. Herman?
So it is safe to say that the schools are certainly being affected by the budget bill and these property tax relief bills. Negatively affected, yes.
Yeah, Mrs. Irwin, I want to thank you for this. I know this was a heartbreaking task. I know how much this district means to you. Board, we need to digest this. And like I said, we need to come in September, ready to problem solve and ready to think creatively and innovatively. Because this is, you know, we have to think about operating in the world how we want it. So do some research and see who's out there running for office, who gets to make these decisions. And then also we have to obviously operate in the world as is. And this is our world, how it exists right now. These are the numbers. We got to figure out how to exist within them.
How about I finish the rest of my report? Okay. So in your folder, you have the July 2026 financial statement, the fiscal year 27 key indicator report. Keep in mind, the reason that says July 2026 and the next line says fiscal year 27 is our year runs July 1 to June 30. And fiscal year is determined by the June 30 date, not the July 1 date. I have in there the cash flow report, the check register, and the bank reconciliation. All of these balances are in balance. So I'm asking for approval for the John Deere Gator in the amount of $11,027.50, which includes a trade-in of $8,000 for a net purchase of $3,427.49. And I feel like I need to explain this to you because every 2 years, the Gator out at the park is traded in. We record that asset, but we take turns paying for it. So this year happens to be the Quaker, that just left me.
Quaker Club.
Quaker Club. And then in 2 years, it will be us.
It's not the parks, it's stadiums.
Yes, the
Yeah.
stadium, sorry.
I want to make sure,
Yes,
whoever listens, we are not buying one for the park, it's one for the stadium. Yes, I know what you meant,
Stadium.
but
Yeah.
Joe Public,
I said it wrong. Sorry about that.
you were fine.
It is for the stadium. The Quaker Club pays for it once every 2 years. We pay for it on 2 years later. This one happens to be the club. I'm asking you to approve the quote from Dakota Tree Service in the amount of $12,700 to trim trees at South Elementary. We've had a complaint that they're afraid somebody's going to get hurt. I'm asking you to approve the quote from Carpenter Heating and Cooling for replacement of the AC compressor at the high school in the amount of $8,937. Approve the quote for Flickinger Piping to replace the chiller compressor at South Elementary in the amount of $24,483. And my understanding is that piece of equipment was original to that building in 1972. I'm asking you to approve the proposal from Diversified Engineering for the plans and permits for the new vestibule at York Elementary. Approve the statement of work from CDW for the white glove service in the amount of $8,290. approve flood insurance renewal with assurance for the Quaker Dome. We pay 2 flood insurance bills. This is the first of 2. There will be another coming. It will be over $50,000. Approve the invoice from Kennedy Insurance for the second half billing for our liability insurance, $90,107. Approve the addition of the SureTrack trailer on the liability insurance of $93. That's that trailer that the band got brand new. Approve the annual commercial paper reporting requirement with Red Tree Investments as required by Ohio Revised Code Section 135. Red Tree Investments is where I put our investments so that our money grows and we earn interest. So when you have that invested like that, the board has to approve this commercial paper reporting because most of the investments in that investment are commercial paper. They're not just your average stocks. They have to be AAA rated. Approve the audiology agreement with the ESC in the amount of $5,650.03. Approve the order for Huddle for 3 years at a total contract of $46,000. And this is paid by the athletic funds. Approve the service agreement with Muskingum Valley ESC for orientation and mobility contract for special needs students in the estimated amount of $18,618. Approve the GCL Education Services Agreement for special education for $240 a day. And the reason I didn't attach that is there were student names all through that and they are not public record. Accept the following donations. We have 3 for Project Lead the Way, Reeves Foundation, Marsh Foundation, Zimmer Foundation. And then we got a donation from Blue River Pet Care for $100 to go to summer science camp. Authorize the superintendent and treasurer to negotiate a land purchase. Approve the amended certificate of estimated resources for 2027 as follows. And what I'm doing there is I'm actually truing up the certificate of estimated resources that I asked you to approve in June. Approve the amended appropriations for 2027. And again, that's truing up some of those line items because we had to estimate those last March. So I had to sit down and true all those numbers up. And then approve the 5-year forecast as presented.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
Let's approve that, huh?
You know, right?
So moved.
Second. It's just bleak. It's so bleak.
Yeah.
You know?
It's sad, but it's public education.
Really is. Great. There,
That was me second.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was just
go ahead.
actually thinking I should explain something to you.
Okay.
Because you notice on here that some of the small contracts I put on here to be approved by the board. The law says that if we spend in aggregate more than 25,000 for a single vendor, that the board has to approve that. So for example, CDW, that's normal everyday work that we would do. But the reason I put it on here is because I know we're going to spend 300,000 with CDW in addition to that.
Yeah.
So I just want you to be aware of why some of those little pieces and parts are coming to you for approval. Sorry,
No,
thought
that's
I'd
okay.
throw that in there.
Thank you. Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Rickwick,
Yes.
Ms. Fontana,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrock,
Yes.
Dr. Bachman,
Yes.
Mr. Petrullo,
Yes.
motion carries. Thank you.
Turn it over to Dr. Sutton for personnel.
Good evening. I recommend the following personnel resignations as presented. Certified staff for 2026 through 2027 as presented. Classified staff as presented. Supplementals as presented. Mentors in our resident educator program, they receive a stipend of $1,500 as presented. substitute teachers as presented, substitute secretaries as presented, substitute bus drivers as presented, substitute custodians as presented, volunteers as presented, Big Brothers Big Sisters 2026, 2027, and Good News Club as presented.
Mr. Rickliff?
I think for the benefit of Jane, if we could remove out of the volunteers her and put her on separately so she is able to vote on the other items.
You know, I caught me and Dave. I didn't catch you. I'm so sorry. Yes, let's add.
I am so sorry.
That's my fault. Can we add Dr. Bachman? Can we
It's on a
remove her?
it needs to be on a separate one.
Can I-
So
can I
you both
put
can
it-
vote.
Oh, so we both can.
Yeah, if you put it with you, then you
With
both
the
can't vote.
volunteers.
Excuse,
We have volunteers, David Schrock and Jen Schrock.
yeah, you. both-
Can we put her in
Yeah.
that group?
Yes.
And then get three,
Well,
yeah,
then you
Then-
both can't vote on it.
right.
Yeah,
But then you three could.
we three can vote.
Okay. So let's add.
Good catch, Kelly.
Thank you. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
she was worried about it and I spoke up for
Well, I
her.
was planning to abstain until I realized how much stuff was included in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot in there. Yeah.
Okay, so that's been changed. Dr. Bachman's been removed from this list that we're voting on now.
Do we need to do a motion or anything
We're
to
going,
Yeah.
right now.
So I'm making a motion to move
Yep.
Jane to the?
Mrs. Bachman to the separate.
I'll second it.
We need to call the roll to move Jane.
So we do both. We move Jane from it to that. Now we did a second. Now we vote that we made that move.
Okay,
Yes.
call the roll, please.
Mr. Ricklick,
Yes.
Mrs. Fontana,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrock,
Yes.
Dr. Bachman. You can vote to be moved.
You can vote to move yourself.
Oh, yes.
You can vote to be moved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Petrulo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Move yourself.
Now I need a motion to approve all of
The
these.
consent agenda.
Yes,
The ones that are on the floor.
yes.
So moved.
Okay. Right, all second. Call the roll.
Mr. Ricklick,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrock.
Yes.
Ms. Fontana,
Yes,
Dr. Bachman,
Yes.
Mr. Petrulo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
thank
Okay.
you. And then I recommend the following volunteers as presented.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ricklick,
Yes.
Ms. Fontana,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrock,
Abstain.
Dr. Bachman,
Abstain.
Mr. Petrulo. Motion carries.
I don't know, do we want the pizza stress? I don't know, maybe. We didn't think this through. We did not think this through. Right. Mini reports? So yeah, is there anything that we need to be flagged for Business Advisory Council?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Yeah.
Any
Nothing,
other-
nothing to report out with facilities. It was all in the treasurer's report. Any other committee reports?
I didn't have legislative reports. I'm going to give you guys a breather this month because it is coming. I told you guys last month, we have been informed to hang on because it's going to be a wild ride. That is directly from legislators saying it's going to be a wild ride. So brace yourself. Because when everybody's back in session, it's coming. So I really ask everybody to pay attention to what is going on at the state level. 2 months ago, we were looking at 281 bills that affected public education. That number's not dropping at all. So it's going to be really important, especially us sitting on a school board for public schools, to really remain vigilant and be advocates for our public schools and our kids and our teachers and our administrators. So thank you guys.
Board policies.
Number 9, I recommend the following board policies. This is a second reading of policies that we read in July. JED, student absences and excuses, and JEDA, truancy.
Get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Any discussion? All right. Call the roll, please.
Ms. Fontana?
Well, I do have discussion. I'm sorry.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
I just really want to thank Policy Committee and Dr. Sutton for working on this. We really, really took a hard look at these ones and really made sure that we got everything tightened up so that it supports everybody. So I just want to thank you guys, Dr. Jane and Dr. Sutton. I'm going to have to get my doctorate now, you guys.
And I would add that we've met our obligation to consult with the local legal court.
Yes, yep, that's right. Yep, thank you.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Fontana?
Yes.
Dr. Buckman?
Yes.
Mr. Ricklick?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrock?
Yes.
Mr. Petrulo? Yes. Motion carried.
Assistant Superintendent's report, Mr. Williams.
Aside from the QDA financial reports, an agreement with Walsh University for student teacher. I'll talk about our PD day in a second, which I'm really excited about. I forgot to put in here, want to update you on our new teachers because Wednesday is our new teacher orientation day. We have 15 new teachers coming Wednesday, which is a lot. Principals and I were still doing interviews last Tuesday. We had 7 people in for 5 positions. So all of them are filled. Dr. Sutton got a chance to enjoy meeting them before they came in. So she scared them before they came into us. So they were less nervous with us after meeting the superintendent. One of our new teachers, Joy Brantley, is going to be our 3 to 5 literacy teacher.
Great.
Just some stats for you that this class, we call them classes, right? This class of new teachers is amazing. We have one of our new teachers, Trish Jernheimer, that is you approved tonight, 20 years in the National Guard. And that's paid for her education to go back, become a teacher starting at Central. 2 teachers with over 20 years of experience coming into us, 2 intervention specialists with 4 to 6 years of experience, 7 brand new teachers that are joining our district, and a new BCBA with 10 years of experience, including psychology experience, and our new speech path with 6 years of experience. So a lot of experience, a lot of people wanting to work here. So we're very excited for Wednesday. PD Day, that's my baby. That's next Tuesday, the 18th. It's apropos because we had Mrs. O'Connor in earlier. This was kind of a baby of she and I together to bring more awareness to special education and not just like statistics and all that good stuff. We're bringing real stories on Tuesday next week. Keynote at 8 with Amanda DeLuca. I don't know if any of you are familiar with her. She's been an advocate in the area, not just for families, but working with school districts and professionals to try to bridge the gap. And she's going to talk about her real life living with her own children with special needs. And then the teachers will break out into breakout sessions with Lacey Herbert from Lacey Pack is going to come and talk a little bit about obviously her own experiences as well as the great things she does. Advocates for Success, Nancy Hunter and Kim Cheney are coming in for 3 sessions to talk about what they do for our special needs students once they get out into the real world. Mr. Watt and Mrs. Armstrong, our 2 psychs, are doing a session where they're going to talk about working with our teachers and how to better prepare them for testing. And teachers will have choice of where they want to go to and kind of experience these things. Because I want our teachers to see that it's not just a number, it's not just an IEP, these are real people. And so very excited for Wednesday. So I know there's laws of how many of you can be at certain places at certain times, but if you'd like to stop by, let me know. Amanda DeLuca is going to be sensational at 8 a.m. at Welty Auditorium. So very excited for that.
Cool.
Was that Wednesday or
That's it.
Tuesday?
What's that?
Was that Tuesday?
That is Tuesday.
Okay.
Monday's our first day with teachers.
Okay.
And then Tuesday is PD all day. Chef Nate and his staff, I will give them big props. They're going to do a 2-hour span of a luncheon that they're going to create and the admin are going to serve our teachers. We've done that every year. And then the teachers will go for the last half of the day back to buildings and do some PD with their staffs, with their principals. So it's going to be a really great day. So,
And then school is starting.
and then, yeah, we don't talk about that yet. We're going to,
I don't know, Jen's ready, she was ready.
Not today.
Yes.
Take 'em,
At the door, right now, they're at the door.
but yeah, that's what I got. I just want to fill you in on those things.
Thank you, Jeff.
Can I get a motion first?
So moved.
I'll second. I think that day sounds awesome. Thank you so much. I love how so many members of our community are brought in, and I know that's something that we're really working on this year. So very cool.
The toughest part of this has been convincing Lacey to only get an hour with each group.
Good luck.
I don't
A
doubt.
lot of you know her, and
Oh, very much so.
but she's so excited. They're just so excited, and that's what I love too. Is community members are so excited to come in and talk about it. So I'm hoping it hits heartstrings. I'm hoping it hits the mindset of our staff. It only helps those students.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right, call the roll, please.
Ms. Fontana?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrock?
Yes.
Mr. Ricklick?
Yes.
Dr. Bachman?
Yes.
Mr. Petrulo? Motion carries.
Dr. Sutton, superintendent's report.
Thank you. And number 11, I ask that you approve the literacy coach job description. We talked about that in our work session. We're very excited about that opportunity for our high school and our EL population. So I ask that you approve that. And then just an announcement, I wanted to invite all of you to our convocation on the 17th. That's a week from today at 8 a.m. We'll be at Welty in the auditorium. We'll do some networking, coffee, and donuts starting at 7. Our program will begin promptly at 8 a.m. And we do have a special surprise for our staff members. Coach Sue Ramsey is coming in to get us all motivated for the start of the school year. And then first day of school, August 20th, right around the corner. We're hoping for cooler weather.
It's a Monday,
What day?
the 17th,
17th,
Monday, the
day at 8 a.m.
You want me to pick you up here?
Thank you.
Sure.
Can I get a motion?
You waited to bottom of the move.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
So we'll- Mr. Ricklick 1, Ms. Fontana 2.
We're going to arm wrestle next.
Questions, comments, anything for Dr. Sutton? All right, call the roll, please.
Mr. Ricklick?
Yes.
Ms. Fontana?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrock?
Yes.
Dr. Bachman?
Yes.
Mr. Petrulo?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Way to go, Jane.
Call the roll.
Mr. Ricklick?
Yes.
Dr. Bachman?
Yes.
Schrock?
Yes.
Ms. Fontana?
Yes.